Three important lessons that should be learned from Thursday's opening day of the tournament. One, don't bet on the Big 12, okay? But more seriously, number two, bankroll allocation is such a crucial part of what we do. Some people call it money management. I like to call it bankroll allocation. But you have to realize coming into the tournament, you've got 10 days of the big tournament, okay? But you've got 20 days really of college basketball action between now and the national championship when you factor in all the NIT, the College Insider Tournament, the CBI action, those fringe tournaments that are going to fill the games and the open spots on the Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays here in the next couple of weeks. So you have to know how much you're going to allocate to spend every single day. Another way that I look at it, and another way that I've always said it, is how much can you afford to lose on any given day? I used to work with a guy, we used to call him a voice of doom. He always said, expect the worst and you'll never be disappointed. It's so true. And it really applies to bankroll allocation. You didn't take your entire wad yesterday, your entire bankroll, and lay it out on the first day of the tournament. No, you should have. If you're going to play every single day of the tournament, you should have had 10 equal increments, and then you played with 1/10 of that amount yesterday. Or if you were going to play for the next 20 days, you had to realize, hey, I've got 3 weeks of action. I'm going to have so much money to spend each week. Or if I want to break it down further, I've got 20 days of action. I'm going to have so much money to play every 20 days, each day over a 20-day period. And that's the amount that you're spending. Some people, I think, out there, they look at money management when handicappers talk about it and they go, oh, it's just a way for them to hide their ratings and their wins and losses. There's a reason. Like, for example, look at Gabriel DuPont here on the site. Look at Scott Delaney on the site. Look at how they've done with their 50 dime or higher plays, their highest rated plays, and how much money they've made their customers. Bankroll allocation and money management go hand in hand. And what it does for you from a gambling standpoint, it prevents you from being buried the first day out of the box. That's the other important lesson from yesterday. The final one is this. Okay, the Dogs had their day yesterday. This ain't the first time, guys. The Dogs are going to have their days again. But this is so cyclical. Please do not think that every damn dog is going to bark today and the rest of the tournament. Because by the end of this damn thing, 10 days worth of action, either the favorites or the underdogs are going to have like a 3 to 4 game margin, and that's how it always goes. Oh, some years you're going to see the dogs maybe have an 8-game lead. Some years the favorites might have a 7-game lead. It is all cyclical. And what happens is lines are going to get adjusted. Because now, realizing, sports books, if they're taking a beating, everybody's jumping on the dogs, those dog prices are going to get shortened. The lines are going to be adjusted, okay? You're not going to have those overinflated prices. Suddenly, if the favorites start cashing, you're going to see the numbers change again. Listen, there's so many things that go into building the line based on how much money is coming in the games, the size of the sports book that you're playing, blah, 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 blah. The popularity of the particular game that you happen to be betting on. But the thing is that it's all cyclical. I used to work with this moron in Atlanta who used to say, oh, the only way to win is to bet dogs. You got to bet dogs every single day. So every day he'd win. Oh, I hit 2 dogs last night. He didn't tell you, though, that the 3 days prior he went 1-5 with those dogs. You only heard about the 2 dogs. It's like you only hear about the fish that got away, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's cyclical, so you can't get hung up on it. Listen, was yesterday a good day for any of the handicappers here at the site? Absolutely not. I mean, Chris Jordan won. Scott Delaney won. Craig Davis, 100-dime play, Eastern Washington last night. It wasn't Eastern Washington like the chic play yesterday. And what happened there with that worthless basket by Georgetown? Instead of holding the ball. No showmanship there by the Hoyas. No way. Let's go in and get that cheap basket to get them the cover. How about the guys that were on Stephen F. Austin yesterday against Utah? That game was all over the place in terms of the price of the line. I told anybody that had Stephen F. Austin they had to take a loss on the game yesterday because in reality, that line, depending on where you were looking at it, it could have been a win, could have been a push, but a loss. But I thought it was more a loss than anything else. Same thing with Purdue and Cincinnati yesterday. I think the best you can do is if you had Purdue is call it a push, but depending on when you played, it could have easily been a win as well. If you played early in the day, it could have been a loss. So many games. LSU, NC State coming right down to the wire. LSU was Chris Jordan's big 1,000-star top-rated winner, number 6 out of 9, which you got at a huge discount yesterday. Again, these things are all cyclical. And that's the point of it. I don't get hung up on it because, frankly, listen, I went out with Iowa State yesterday. It was like a mercy killing because I lost early, I lost big. I didn't have to get screwed in the Utah Stephen F. Austin game. I didn't have to worry about how NC State and LSU was going to play out. I didn't have to watch that ridiculous goaltending call in the SMU UCLA game. I was done early, one and done, gone, baby, out. Mercy killings are okay sometimes in gambling. You don't have to go through the pain to realize that extended agony of losing your money. When you realize you're laying double digits and you ain't got a chance early, boom, over, gone, done with. Watch the rest of the games as a fan. Hate to be cavalier, but that's just the way I am after 20 years of doing this, guys, because really, if you get hung up on the day-to-day minutia of everything, again, if you read too much into yesterday's results, it'll affect how you're going to play tomorrow, and you can never let that happen. Listen, complimentary plays. You know how hot I've been with the free plays. I went 0 for 3 with the freebies yesterday. That's how bad yesterday was for me. 0 for 3 with the freebies. I had won, 18 of my previous 23? So now I'm on an 18 and 8 roll. As for today's biggest discounted plays, Scott Delaney, one of the guys that won yesterday, had a 69 play yesterday on Georgia State. There's another game. Georgia State. If you had Baylor yesterday, Matt Rivers had Baylor yesterday. Matt Rivers last week went 5-0 with his blank check, waive the rating games, right? 5-0 sweep with them, none of them even close. He has 2 this week. The first one on Tuesday night, the play-in game with BYU, 17 points up at halftime, and you lose to Ole Miss. Yesterday, Baylor up 12, 2:53 to go, and you end up losing the game outright. Weird things happened yesterday, guys. It's just one of those things. Anyway, Scott Delaney, 100 dime, max wager postseason winner number 3 in a row goes tonight on St. John's and San Diego State. 77 and 50 with 100 dime max wager releases in all sports over the past 3 years, including a 2-0 sweep last week when he gave you Kentucky over Arkansas in the SEC title game on Sunday. And then on Saturday, it was UL Monroe covering against Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt Conference. Bigger than a 69 winner on Georgia State last night. You get it for half price by using coupon code HALF, HALF. By the way, $10 bettors have made over 42 grand with his 50 dime plays or higher the past 3 years. Also, Shawn Michaels, 100 dime releases. Remember his NFL role, 59 and 31 with 100 dime plays in the NFL over the past 3 years, or past 5 years, including that little game involving the Patriots in Seattle when he had New England a couple of months ago. Well, today, his 3rd of the season in college basketball. Opening round lock of the year, Dayton and Providence. You save $65 on the purchase of that game by using coupon code SEAN, S-E-A-N. Listen, Jeff Benton has an early 100 dime play where he says a dog he thinks might win outright, and the guy's 27 and 18 in the dance over the past 5 years, making $10 bettors over $9 grand. You can get it for $29. Brad Wilson has a $5 play of the day. Listen, guys, it's all over on the homepage. Check it out now for yourself. Okay, let's get to some complimentary plays. Wisconsin's a 19.5 point favorite against Coastal Carolina. And I realized that the last time we saw Wisconsin, they had that miraculous comeback against Michigan State in the Big Ten title game on Sunday, in which they shut out the Spartans in overtime and managed to get the cover. They're a 19.5 point favorite. Did we see Arizona cover yesterday laying 23.5? No, we did not. Did we see Iowa State losing as a double-digit favorite? Oh, yes, we certainly did. It was not a good day. Notre Dame failed to get the job done. There's another one. Not a good day for the double-digit chalks yesterday. But I like Wisconsin in this spot. I know Coastal Carolina is a veteran team coached by Cliff Ellis, blah, 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 blah. I just like the Badgers in this spot, okay? I like the Badgers minus the 19.5 points. Maryland is a 4.5 point favorite over Valpo. Now, listen, I'm the king of the Horizon League, okay? A couple of days ago, I think it was Tuesday, I gave you a free pick in an NIT game where I took Illinois State in the Missouri Valley Conference at home against Wisconsin Green Bay. And Wisconsin Green Bay lost by 10 at Valpo in the Horizon League title game about a week and a half ago, a game in which I had the Crusaders. And at the time, I told you that was a one-and-done situation. The winner was going to get the automatic berth by winning the Horizon League. The loser was going to be relegated to the NIT because it comes down to the strength of the schedule and the RPI. These teams from the Horizon League just didn't perform well and didn't really play challenging non-conference schedules. Well, take it a step further. The reason Illinois State crushed Wisconsin Green Bay the other night, because I thought the Missouri Valley Conference, much better conference than the Horizon League. Same thing goes here today, guys. I'll take the Big Ten over the Horizon League any day and Sunday too. Okay, I mean, you're looking here at a Terrapins team that had played very well down the stretch. Yeah, they lost in the tournament, but still, they had played well. And, they started off the season like gangbusters. They played a tough non-conference schedule as well. You got a Valpo team, I think, what did they lose? They got drilled at Oakland in Horizon League Road action. They lost at Detroit Mercy. They lost to Wisconsin Green Bay. Not real impressive as far as I'm concerned, and I think this is a cheap price. Now, Valpo has some size, and Maryland is not a very good rebounding team, that's for darn sure. But I do think Maryland has the depth, has more athleticism, has the better backcourt, and I think that ultimately is going to be the difference in this game. You've got Oregon -2 against Oklahoma State. I'm sorry, man. I know that the Ducks got drilled by Arizona again in the Pac-12 championship game, but they had won, 8 of their previous 9 games coming into that contest. They really finished the second half of the season with a nice, strong closing kick. You got an Oklahoma State team that enters this tournament losing 7 of its last 8 games. And oh, by the way, they're from the Big 12. That's enough reason to go right there against the Cowboys. I don't know what eye test they passed, losing 7 of their final 8 games, but I don't understand what the hell they're doing here in the tournament. And they did not fare well in the Big 12 road either in regular season action. Now, you have 2 teams that are both small, that are going to run up and down the floor, that love to launch threes. But Oregon's not laying 6.5 here. Oregon's laying 1.5 to 2.5. Most places it's 2. So I'm going to go with the Ducks in this spot as well. So I'm going to lay the points with Wisconsin, going with Maryland, and taking Oregon as well for your 3 complimentary plays for this Friday card. Wish you well, guys, and let's win back some of the money we lost yesterday, needless to say. Talk to you again on Saturday morning.